Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Eclipse Growing, and today I have something special. So about 24 hours ago, I went ahead and made a video about can you grow garlic in a container? Well, obviously it has been the 3 to 4 months for the garlic to actually grow, but when I did show you guys, I had just a tiny little plant. It was probably about maybe an inch and a half tall, wasn't very tall. And like I said, it's been about 24 hours. And I have something to show you guys. This is the plant. It's grown quite a bit. Now the top here is actually a little damaged right here. That's actually on purpose. I actually pinched the tip of it just a little bit. It actually doesn't really affect anything, but there's something unique about garlic. One, as I previously mentioned, it is edible, completely edible. I take this right now, I take this whole piece, and I eat it. I'm not going to do that. It does need the energy to actually get that bulb forming. It is starting to get a little dry, but these things actually do not like their feet wet. In that particular case, that refers to as the roots. Roots do not like being wet. On the bottom of this container, you can actually see I do have some drainage holes right here, and I want to try to water them as if it was summertime, as if it was spring, as if we were just getting this growing in ideal conditions outside. So generally 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the drainage of the soil, which I have been able to kind of figure out how much water roughly this soil is going to hold at a time. I did have just a little bit of too much drainage, but luckily it drained very well. But anyways, concerning the tip of this, I actually pinched this because garlic, very much like some other plants that we know of, like mint, spearmint, you smell the plant and it doesn't actually smell like anything. Now, once you start crushing the leaves, you get a nice aroma. With garlic specifically, obviously it smells like garlic. So I went ahead and broke this little leaf, smelled it. I love the smell of garlic. Garlic's probably going to be one of the crops that I actually do attempt to grow. Some interesting stuff. There's actually some Dutch companies right now, some places in the Netherlands, they're actually doing microgreens, big, huge warehouses, utilizing what little resources, little land that they actually have to grow these things. So that kind of gave me the idea to try to grow my own crop of garlic is in little of a space as possible. Now, these top parts, these are just leaves, and you can actually see within this leaf is curled just a little bit. But inside this curl is a second leaf. Actually really neat. So once these get a lot bigger, I'm going to go ahead and try to keep you guys updated. I was originally intending not to update you daily, except this was really exciting that this leaf, this plant actually just continued to grow. I have a total of 12 of these that I'm experimenting with, 2 different kinds of garlic, both hardnecks. This was just the first one that sprouted. This one, the one I showed you guys, and I wanted to keep it. Make sure that when I update you guys will see this particular plant. This one will be near and dear to our heart, and hopefully it works out. Now, the interesting thing is, one of my ideas was actually to hold these things. The reason why I 3D printed these in the first place was keep it nice and clean dimensions. Now, again, as close as these are not ideal dimensions. The ideal dimensions is roughly the rows spaced out 6 inches apart. Now, what I did was I was attempting to do 6 inches apart towards center. However, what I ended up doing was making this a total of 3 inches by 3 inches. So each plant would be roughly 1.5 per container, 1.5 inches per container. So it's still 3 inches, which is fine, as some garlic growers, especially those who do these as cash crops, will actually bunch them that close together. The ideal, though, again, is 3 inches apart in a row, and keep your rows 6 inches apart. At least that's the research that I've done. Now, the idea that I had was setting these on racks inside and setting up an entire hydroponic system and lights and stuff like that. But like I said in the last video, I haven't seen anything about people growing these inside. So that's why I'm going to do this experiment. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to do daily, bi-daily, as much updating as I possibly can. We are going to watch, quote unquote, grass grow. So that was pretty neat. But anyways, shelves, roughly 2 feet apart, an average 8-foot ceiling. You can get roughly about 4 to 5, depending on how you actually implement your inside place. As far as a house, not a specialty building or anything like that. But yeah, the reason being is these tend to grow about 18 to 24 inches tall. Now you already have 6 inches, so you're hoping that it only grows 18 inches. So they do have to be, the shelves have to be about 2 feet at least apart from each other. And do the math that you know it doesn't take a lot to do a huge crop. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't take a few months. As we do this, I have done some research on what these are supposed to look like, what these are supposed to do. And so, like I said, we'll go on the journey together and we'll figure these out. So, if you are enjoying these videos, if you are enjoying the particular journey that we're going on, please click subscribe down below, pretty please. And until then, I will see you next time.